never mind. A very good afternoon and welcome back to Khanty-Mansijsk for the final day of the Biathlon World Championships. 10 medals already decided. Norway have taken 4 of them, Germany 3, and Germany the hot favourites to take the final gold today. 11 nations have shared the medals so far, and that's from a total of 37 nations. Russia with 3 silver, the host nation, have yet to get a gold, and that is what they're planning on today. The programme has been designed to finish with a host nation gold medal. The Russians are the defending world champions. They're the Olympic champions. They won the women's relay last year in the World Cup standings. However, it has not gone their way this season, and still no one would put money on Russia over the Germans. We'll see how it goes over the next hour or so. Well, it was the Norwegians who started in style in the mixed relay, coming through to take their first gold. Tore Berger, Flatland, Bjørndalen and Terje Bo taking that mixed relay gold. Germany's Arndt Pfeiffer went on to win the first of the individuals, taking the sprint gold medal. An excellent run from Pfeiffer, showing that he was favourite to win many, many medals. Magdalena Neuner, her first gold medal coming from the sprint, making it a double victory for the Germans on the second day of the championships. Martin Fourcade, what a performance in the men's pursuit, coming through to overtake Pfeiffer and claim the Frenchman's first gold. Kaisa Mäkäräinen, astonishing shooting. My goodness, has she improved this year. Not only has she led the World Cup tour for much of the season, she now has a gold medal to her name. Terje Bo has been astonishing on the men's tour right the way throughout the season. Hoping to claim the overall title this year, he also has a World Championship title to his name. And perhaps the shooting performance of the championship so far. Helena Ekholm, 20 out of 20 in vicious Siberian wins to claim the women's individual. Norway again looking good in the relay. The men's relay finished off by Terje Bo again. It wasn't the best of shooting days, but their skiing prowess brought them home. Neuner, the women's mass start to make it 2 golds for the German woman. And of course, Emil Hegler Svensson. He came here saying he wanted a gold medal in an individual event. Well, he can go home happy because he is the men's mass start champion. Norway, Germany, France, the leading 3 nations. Only Norway and Germany can end up on top of the table. If Germany don't win today, it will be the Norwegians, not only the medal winners in Oslo at the cross-country World Championships, but also here in Khanty-Mansijsk. A total of 8 at the moment. Germany need that 4th gold, and with 3 silvers, they would end up on top. Mike, Germany a very strong quartet. Any weaknesses in their team?
Not really weaknesses. Miriam Gusner, the 20-year-old, going on the second leg. Her stand shooting lets her down, and today the wind is again stronger. Yesterday we saw it calm for the mass start races. Today it has picked up in some gusting situations, so that could even knock the favourites back a little.
Well, the wind is gusting, and it's certainly a lot stronger than it was yesterday. This is a reminder of the conditions for the individual, where it caused so much havoc for the women racing over 15 kilometres, and a reminder also of the conditions in Oberhof just after Christmas, and that's where the Swedes came through to take the victory, largely on the back of some excellent shooting again from Helena Ekholm. It would be a fantastic result for Sweden if they could do it, but they have to try and outski Germany at the same time. Welcome back to Khanty-Mansijsk. The sun is out yet again. We've been very fortunate with the conditions, but the wind has changed. It's picked up. It's switched to the southeast again, which can be problematic in the range area because it causes a few vortices as the wind spins its way through the stadium. But I don't think it's quite as bad as it was for the women's individual 5 days ago. Well, the star of the championships on the men's side has been Terje Bo, and the star of the championships in the women's side, without any doubt, has been Magdalena Neuner. She made victory in the mass start yesterday look very easy indeed, and you have to bear in mind she missed 4 targets out of the 20 and still managed to ski away into the top spot. Well, I don't think that many would argue with the fact that Magdalena Neuner is the outstanding biathlete on the women's tour at the moment. Before the start of the World Championships here in Khanty-Mansijsk, she'd already won 7 World Championship titles, and at 24 she's also got 2 overall World Cup titles as well. In Khanty, she started in style, helping the German mixed relay team to take the silver medal. The next competition was even better. She took gold in the sprint. That was title number 7. In the pursuit, she defeated Kaisa Mäkäräinen to pick up her first gold. And then, of course, she got another gold in the mass start to equal Petra Schaaf. She's now just 1 behind Elena Golovina. Gernot with Vincent Defrain. Gernot saying the dominant athlete is Neuner. Today she has a really good chance to win again with the German team. Vincent saying that she's a really gifted athlete. She's she works hard, but as well as that, she has a big team around her who produce excellent skis and look after her every need. Vincent also saying that today she could become the most titled female biathlete of all time. And Vincent saying when you see her working with her new coach Rico Gross, it's a really close exchange. It's a two-sided conversation, he says, between the two of them. I guess that means that Magdalena Neuner gets her say in any decisions that are made. And Vincent Defrain thinks that Magdalena Neuner has a real chance to win again in this women's relay. Gernot saying at 24, she's already a star. Vincent saying that he feels that she's not a prima donna in any way, but she's just a very intelligent athlete. She has to deal with a huge amount of media pressure, a huge amount of requests for appearances, and she has so many obligations that she has to meet over the summer months as well as the winter, that she had to be a little bit smart this year to delay her the start to her World Cup racing, because the summer training hadn't gone quite to plan. And that, Mike, although it surprised us not to see her in Östersund, has turned out to be a very good move, because despite missing those races, she's only 60 points behind in the race for the overall title.
She's had an incredible last half of her season, and I think it's great the way that she is mentored so well by Rico Gross. He knows how this sport works. He knows the pressures of this sport. He's passing all his knowledge, which has lifted Neuner, absolutely lifted her recently.
And Neuner on the last leg today for Germany. Well, a good crowd again for the final day of the Biathlon World Championships. Not quite as raucous as it was yesterday. And what a sensational mass start we had in the men's, Mike. That's got to be one of the highlights of the championships so far, with Svensson fighting off the Russian challenge.
It was always, we're seeing these mass start races providing some of the best entertainment. I love the relays as well. In fact, I love all the races that we've had here. It always seems to be pressing to the line, and well, you never know until the last shoot who's actually got a chance of the medals. Biathlon has become that tight at the top, and that's certainly for spectators. It makes it great for the athletes. It makes it, well, quite tough. You can see the wind, well, it's picking up, and there we are. It varies from left to right. It presses down as it comes closer to the firing point, which knocks the fall of the shot low.
Well, there are the list of teams entering. You can see Great Britain wearing bib number 20. We're not expecting too much from the British women today, Mike. I guess their aim is to stay on the tracks as long as possible. It's a very short race, 4 by 6 kilometres, each loop only 2 kilometres. So once you've lost 5.5 minutes, you're likely to get lapped and pulled out of the race. If they survive through to the final leg, they'll have done well.
I think it's unfortunate, to be absolutely honest, as we look at the win flags. I think it's unfortunate teams do get actually pulled out. There's an awful lot of money to come here. The preparation of the skis, each pair of skis, and each athlete has at least 3 pairs prepared for today. It's like a Formula 1 team to get your athletes on the grid here. I would like to see all the teams being allowed to finish.
on the other hand, it does make a little bit of a mockery where you've got the last lap and you've got some athletes that are being lapped mixed in with the leaders and possibly getting in the way. You cannot have a situation where they interfere, and we have seen that once or twice, particularly in the men's relay.
Absolutely with you, and I think it's rules of the road. You know, if you are being lapped, then move over to the left, let the faster teams come through.
Well, the only way you can achieve your aim of getting everyone to finish is to have 3 separate laps.
Possibly.
Three separate loops of 2 kilometres or 2.5.
Yeah, then there's the issue of actually filming the whole show, so that does make it difficult.
So, in the end, we come back to the solution that they have at the moment, which is to pull out teams. And the answer actually is to get quicker and make sure you can match the leaders or stay within a couple of minutes of the lead of the race. There's Belarus, outsiders, but they have been on the podium so far this year, and I wouldn't rule them out because their spirits are high after Domracheva took medals early on. And the Ukrainians with the Symirienko twins once again in action. They both need to rise to the occasion. Vita has a medal from the individual. That was a sensational run. Vaya Symirienko not quite on her best form. The Russians, the host nation, the Olympic champions, the world champions, the world #1s from last year. They did win the last World Cup relay as well, so maybe this is their chance. It's their last chance to take a gold. If they're going to take it, they've got to beat this quartet. Henkel, Gustner, Bachmann, and of course, Magdalena Neuner, who takes the last leg. Sweden, the World Cup leaders at the moment after some very good shooting, and when it blows a wind, you know they have more of a chance. The only bad news for the Swedes is that the wind actually has calmed down considerably in the 45 minutes that we've been sitting up above the range. Well, you can see there the flags blowing. It's not quite as windy as those flags might suggest, certainly not down in the range area. Welcome to the final race of the 2011 Biathlon World Championships. It's been a fantastic 2 weeks of competition, and let's hope that we have a grand finale with the women's 4x6 kilometre. 20 teams entered in all. Germany, Norway, France, Sweden, and of course the host nation Russia, all with a good chance of taking gold.
Oh, and it's quite tight as usual. 20 teams side by side are on the grid together. The stadium is quite narrow. Normally we would expect 10 metres. This is only 6 to 7 metres wide, but straight away they're into 2 or 3 different columns. And it's Ukraine at the front already. I'm a little surprised that Henkel didn't manage to fight her way up to the front. Maybe she will as she gets some open space around her. And then onto the 2 kilometre track for Rio. The track is very simple, just out of the range area, up, climbing the hill up behind the shooting range, and then a big descent back to the stadium, and the final 500 metres within the stadium area prior to shooting.
Ukraine comfortable to take the lead, and a team we haven't mentioned yet, Mike. I know it's early days, but they've already made an appearance at the front of that leading group. The Italians. Ponza is doing much well. Katja Haller's had a pretty solid season, and Dorothy Vera has looked very good. She's the youngster in the team, but she's starting to come through. And of course, after yesterday's success, or two days ago with the